Hey, this is Jason Torpy with the Military Association of Atheists and Freethinkers. It's about 5 degrees where I am. It's freezing cold. All you people on the West Coast and the Southern Hemisphere and out in the Pacific Ocean, pipe down. Some of us are suffering here. It is super cold. But there's good news. In spring and summer, there are lots of exciting events going on all around the country, and we should all be planning now, getting your registration and your travel plans and whatnot, so that you can go out into the world and connect with all those atheists and humanists out there. See your heroes, see those speakers, and really kind of express your values. It's also a great way to rally, the local group around what you're doing, around an exciting event that's going on out in the world. Now I'm speaking in early 2015, so in case this video has become a bit dated, remember that a lot of these events, basically all of these events that I'll tell you about, are annual events, so that you can, in case you've missed a date, you can just schedule for next year. Get it on your calendar early so you make sure not to miss it. Very exciting. So next week I'll be at the Texas Secular Convention in Austin, Texas. That's an event that starts off. It's sponsored by the Secular Coalition for America. What they want to do is get everybody there in Texas, not just there for community and to connect with others, but actually to go up to the Capitol building in Austin and go in and do some lobbying and some advocacy for science integrity, educational integrity, and secular values in general. Because apparently some leaders there in Texas have a little bit of a problem with that. So it's really important that people come together and support those values that we have, support those issues, regardless what candidate is talking. And also, an exciting thing there, the Dogma Debate podcast will be going on. That's on Saturday night. Should be at 6 o'clock, might be at 8 o'clock. Stay tuned for timing on that. And we'll be presenting awards, including Vicki Getman there in San Antonio and her family. And they've been doing great things for volunteer work. And she's going to talk, and then I'll also talk about all the great volunteers and large organizations that we have around the world, in Guam and in the UK and Germany and Korea, and lots of others that I'll talk about there. And apologies to all those that I haven't mentioned, but we've got great groups around the world, and we really want to spend a little time at that convention and on the Dogma Debate podcast to praise them and to support them and to give out some awards, because everybody deserves it. Now, what about you? Where are you going to be going? If you're not going to be at the Texas Secular Convention, or you've got some other times that you might want to travel, or maybe find some event in your local area, what might you keep in mind? The national organizations are a good place to start for national conventions, their annual conventions. American Atheists is first, April 2nd to the 5th in Memphis. Keynote speaker is Ayaan Hirsi Ali. Also, congressional candidate James Woods, atheist candidate James Wood, is going to be there. He's going to talk about his run for Congress. That's in Memphis, which is pretty close to Nashville, very accessible. So our group at Fort Campbell is going to be organizing a trip to go out there. And I hope as these other events go on, all of our local chapters can kind of organize to travel out. So American Atheist, April 2nd to 5th is a great one. Also, the American Humanist Association is going to be in Denver on May 7th to 10th. That's a little earlier than normal. Normally they're in June, so keep an eye out for that. Mile High Humanism out there. Some great speakers are going to be there. Lawrence Krauss is getting an award. Gene Kilborn is getting a Humanist Heroine Award. And The Onion will be getting an award for their media activities. So The Onion, the satirical newspaper online. So all those people will be there in attendance, so it'll be a great event to speak to them. Also consider those other national organizations as well. There are also great events that aren't necessarily national organizations or national conventions. March 14th to 15th is Reason in the Rock, and by rock they mean Little Rock, Arkansas. So if you're starved for free thought in the South, consider that event there. That's March 14th to 15th, so that's coming up real soon. So consider a trip out there. Also in the South is the International Free Thought Film Festival, if you're a bit of a film buff. That is May 8th to 10th in Orlando, Florida. And if you're looking for the big city instead of the South, you can go up to New York City. And the Northeast Conference on Science and Skepticism is always a great event that's grown over the years, and they always have really top speakers. They just announced Bill Nye is going to be the keynote speaker this year, so that's a good event. And a free conference right in the middle of the country. It might be free, but it's always really good, really well run, is Skepticon, and that's in St. Louis, or Springfield, Springfield, Missouri. And The date's not announced. It's normally later in the fall, but keep an eye out for that in Springfield, right there in the middle of the country. So I do apologize for all the great events. Oh, don't forget Camp Quest. Camp Quest has 13 events around the country. They always add them, but it's currently 13 camps around the country and 3 internationally. That's the UK, in Switzerland, and in Norway. So if you're deployed over to Europe, then your kids still have a Camp Quest available to them. So all around the country, all through the summer, these are week-long great events, and consider going to the Camp Quest events as well. I do apologize for all the great events that I missed. I'm sure I did many of them. I focused on non-theist activities, but going to a science presentation or a museum, those kinds of activities can be something that can really support our worldview and be inspiring to go out to. Also look for skeptic or atheist tracks at kind of gaming and sci-fi conventions like Dragon Con. And the point is there are lots and lots of great events out there to go to. So as you have your kind of weekly or bi-weekly or monthly events in your local area, maybe you have somebody come in to you to be a speaker. Those are good activities, but also once, twice, maybe three times a year, get your group to go and travel out to somebody else's event. And that's something that can be inspiring, give you a lot of new ideas that you might not have thought of, and give an activity that everybody can rally around and have a shared experience to really build the team. So I hope that you go out, because these are motivational. It's not just an educational activity. It's not just charity work is great, but these can be very motivational, very inspirational, and really fill up your tank so that you can go out and go back to your local community, have your good local events, and go back to work, do those things, and be inspired and have a lot of good ideas for your local group.